Looking to sound smarter and more professional in 2021? We're going to talk about 7 important terms, phrases, and idioms used in business English today. What's up? You're watching Tito Talks English Mondays. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed your vacation. Yes, it is time to hit back at the office and hit the road and start working once again. And I know we all still have our vacation hangovers, but now is the best time to leave our vacation bodies behind and enter work mode, which is why for today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, especially for those of you who have made it your New Year's resolution to sound smarter, to look smarter, and to appear more professional to your colleagues and, more importantly, to your clients, as well as we are going to be talking about certain phrases, terms, and idioms used in business English. Now, for the complete beginner, business English refers to that branch of English that is particularly used by people in the workplace when you're talking to your colleagues, when you're talking to your superiors, your bosses, and most importantly, when talking to your clients. Business English refers to the terms, structures, expressions being used by people when it comes to discussing the topic of business or making money or even selling for that matter. And as agents, you know better than anyone else that improving your business English game is one of the most important steps in order to improve your sales performance. And as for today, we've got 7 very useful tips, very useful phrases that you may want to study and apply in your regular conversations to make sure that you sound as sharp as possible. Also, be sure to stick to the end of the video when we talk about number 7, because number 7, I guarantee you, is going to be very, very crucial, especially when you talk to your entrepreneur clients. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? I've seen this one being misused quite a lot, and this is the term known, or this is the phrase known as a learning curve. Usually, most people make the mistake of saying that someone has a learning curve when they're having difficulty learning something. That's actually wrong. Everything and everyone actually has a learning curve. And by definition, a learning curve is the rate or the usual rate at which something is learned or at which something becomes familiar to a particular person. Like, let's say, playing the piano, playing the guitar, learning a new language. These new skill sets have their own respective learning curves that make them either easy or difficult to attain. Now, it's not enough to say that something has a learning curve. You also have to describe what kind of learning curve that is. Usually, you'll use the word steep along with the phrase learning curve. So when you say something has a steep learning curve, that means this is very difficult to learn. And when you're also talking about the difficulty of learning things, you can also use this phrase as well. I'm having some trouble understanding engineering insurance because there is a steep learning curve. And these sorts of terms, or this particular term, actually helps you express yourself better, especially when you're having difficulty uh, acquiring a new skill. It doesn't make you sound as incompetent as as you are, but it does give you a little bit of dignity when you're saying that you're having a difficult time, doesn't it? Now this one is this one is for more unsavory discussions because when you're talking about cutting corners, you're actually talking about not doing things the proper way. You're using subpar materials when creating something, you're not following the correct procedure when you're doing something, you're not following all the instructions given to you. This is what you mean when you say when you cut around corners. You're not following the instructions. From the idiom itself, when you say you cut around corners, you're not actually cutting the exact corner and you're rounding off the corner, meaning you're taking a shortcut, the easier way. And while some people say it's better to work smart than to work hard, it's always important to remember that there is always a right way to do things. And when you cut around corners, you're most certainly not doing that. Now, this was pretty interesting, and I do use this most of the time in the office as well. When you say that your hands are tied, that means that you are incapable of doing something for reasons beyond, or for causes or reasons beyond your control. Let's say that someone requires you to sign a particular document to which you do not have the authority to sign. You can say your hands are tied. I can't help you there. Or let's say someone needs you to do something for them, but you can't unless you get certain permissions from certain people. That in that instance, you can also say that my hands are tied. I can't help you. Or even more interestingly, when your client asks you to do something for them or to provide them with a particular benefit and you know that you can't provide it, a good expression to use when explaining to your customers, to tell them that your hands are tied with regards to this. As you all know, some things are beyond our control, and when we say that our hands are tied, we are all victims to the circumstances. It could either be by terms of permission, by rules, by requirements, by circumstances, whatever it may mean. If there is something stopping you from doing something, from accomplishing something, then the best thing to say is, you've got your hands tied. This one's pretty popular with most entrepreneurs, especially if your clients are in the business side of things. When you say the term cash cow, this refers to a particular product or service or offering of a particular business that is their main source of revenue. In short, it's also sometimes referred to as their golden goose when it comes to business. So when you're talking about golden geese or cash cows, what you're referring to are the particular lines of business, the particular products, the particular services of an entrepreneur that is making them a lot of money, their main source of revenue. And if you're entertaining clients or entrepreneurs or business people that have multiple businesses, multiple products that they sell, their cash cows are going to be the businesses or products that make them the most money. Now, if we were talking about cash cows earlier, now we're talking about shoestring budgets. And you'll hear this a lot, especially from travel blogs, because travel blogs really like to, they really like to talk about shoestring budgets. And when you say the term shoestring budget, you're referring to a very, very tight, very, very small budget, which makes it attractive to almost every segment of the population, regardless of their budget. So when you say you're operating or you're doing something or you're creating something on a shoestring budget, what you're actually saying is that you're doing this project with very minimal funding required. So when someone tells you that they started their business on a shoestring budget, that's actually very impressive, because that means they started their business on a really, really small budget and they've managed to grow their funds through their business. Now, this one, you may be using this one all the time, especially with your clients. And I do advise that you actually use this quite frequently. When you say that you and another person are on the same page, that means you and this person have the same level of understanding when it comes to a particular topic. And this becomes very, very crucial when it comes to talking about insurance, especially very, very expensive insurance policies with your clients. Why? Because since your clients invested a lot of money in their insurance policies with you, it is our job as agents to make sure that our client fully understands the limitations and coverages and clauses and conditions of your policy. Ensuring that you and your client are on the same page when it comes to their policies allows them to have the proper expectations when something actually happens. Let's say, for example, you only got your client a CTPL policy and they did not get a comprehensive policy from you. You need to keep your client on the same page by explaining to them CTPL only covers them from third-party liabilities. If the vehicle gets damaged or destroyed in a collision, the insurance cannot help them. And by you making sure that you and your client are on the same page when it comes to that is of utmost importance. And yes, as promised, the final term that I would like for you guys to master when it comes to business English is the term niche. Yes, let me say that one more time. Niche. It's not niche as it is spelled, so don't get that wrong, please, especially when you're using it for the first time. You'll hear this word a lot from small to medium enterprise owners or from new business owners or from people who are planning to start on their own business. When you say the term niche, you're actually referring, or the term niche refers to a small, specialized segment of the population or market. So you have your general population, and a niche is a small concentration of people with the same characteristics or habits or classifications. Now, this is important when it comes to talking about business because niches are very very important for businesses, especially when you're dealing with startup businesses. Why? Because niches refer to the target market to which a business wants to penetrate. What do I mean when I say this? When you use the term niche, you're referring to what particular types of people your product, your service is trying to help. Now, let's say, for example, you may end up with a client that has a manufacturing plant for ball bearings. Now, this particular client has a specific niche which is targeted towards people who need ball bearings. Now, who may be these people or who are these people that need ball bearings? These could be car owners, truck owners, industrial owners, manufacturers, factory owners, and that is the niche that your client is targeting. So when you hear the term niche, expect you'll be talking about specific segments of the market. Now, if you're also a business owner on your end, you should be familiar with this term as well. What's your niche in your business, or what's your business niche? What are you trying to target? Are you trying to target single moms? Are you trying to target full families? Are you trying to target business owners? Are you trying to target companies, consultation firms, factories? It really depends, and the term niche helps you introduce that into your discussions. I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I did enjoy sharing it with you today. Now, I do hope you use these terms and find them relevant in your day-to-day conversations. And if you find this type of content useful and relevant to you, please consider subscribing to the channel to help us grow and help us reach more people. Once again, this is your favorite Tito Miguel, always saying, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.